In terms of running backs, though, we've got a number of names here. Gus Edwards really stands out to me. He's 43% rostered. He is everything I had hoped Kenyon Drake would be last week. Returned from this torn ACL he suffered in training camp last year. Absolutely just carved up this Cleveland defense, which cannot hold anything against the run. So they are just looking absolutely abysmal. I think you should start every running back against Cleveland this year, but I think he's going to be very valuable with Dobbins on injured reserve, and Drake will probably be the number 2. I mean, he was extremely ineffective, 11 carries for 5 yards. So ouch. Sorry if you started him. Unfortunately, a little bit of a tough matchups coming up against the Bucks and Saints, though the Bucks did have a whole bunch of rushing yards dropped on them last week.
Yeah, the Bucks and Saints are not, neither one of them is the rushing defense that they used to be right now. But actually, I think the best takeaway of what you just said was to look for running backs who are going against the Cleveland defense, because that's been consistent. I'm a little wary of investing heavily in Gus Edwards because I'm just wary of, the Ravens backfield. They pull the rug out from under you over and over again these last couple of years. And I mean, the story we thought with Gus Edwards was when he came back, they would ease him in very slowly. I mean, he missed so much time, and we saw them treat J.K. Dobbins with kid gloves and really limit him, and then step back when he wasn't recovering well. So I thought it was going to take a long time to see Gus Edwards get this kind of volume. So that really surprised me, but I don't necessarily know that we can keep relying on that. I mean, actually, when you look at snap shares, it wasn't as dominated by Edwards against Kenyon Drake or Justice Hill, to be honest, in this game. J.K. Dobbins will eventually come back. So of course, I will pick up Gus Edwards if I need a running back this week, but I don't feel the same way that, like when we were like, maybe use your entire fab budget on Kenneth Walker. Actually, I would be more excited to go after Michael Carter than Gus Edwards right now if I was in a league that had both of them available.
Oh, absolutely. He should be just blow all the fab if Michael Carter is available at this point. We talked about the Panthers guys for sure. Kyron Williams is a guy that I think could be interesting. It's not this week, but it's more of a bench stash type thing. He is from the Rams' 5th round pick from this year out of Notre Dame, has missed all these games with the ankle injury, but it sounds like he's close to return and they want to give him a hefty workload right out of the gate. He is 31% rostered. And like I said, he's on injured reserve, so he doesn't really cost you a roster spot in most situations. And we know the Aker situation, Darrell Henderson has wear and tear issues. He's a little bit older, so certainly could be an opportunity for the rookie to step up. We talked about the Broncos guys. Latavius Murray is 40% rostered. I mean, Mike Boone did go down in this game, then they signed Marlon Mack. I don't know if that does not seem super significant to me. I just think it's going to be some kind of timeshare with Murray and Gordon, who could be off to another team. So that's just a situation to monitor. Dearness Johnson is also another name. The last name I'll mention, he is 1% rostered. He has done absolutely nothing all season, but if Kareem Hunt ends up moving on, I think that he could see a big increase in workload.
I like your Kyron Williams tip, especially because you might have an IR spot that you can sneak him onto as a way to wait and see what his role looks like when he finally does come back. The other one I like is Rachaad White. I think we've mentioned him a couple of times before in the past, just among all the ones that if the starter were to go down, it looks like there's a clear number 2. But not only that, he is starting to chip away at Leonard Fournette's playing time, and he was actually more effective in this last game than Fournette was. I don't think there's a risk that he's going to take his job away from him, but just the fact that he might have sort of 2B, 1B, 2A value in a deep league, but then would have tremendous value if anything ever happened to Fournette. I think he'd be a smart guy to stash on the bench.
Definitely. And I know, like, again, the game script in that game was super wonky, but I think I don't know, do you think that this is the Bucks going forward? Do you think this is an indicator of Tom Brady? I know this is a little bit off topic, but it's relevant because I just wonder about this, like all the players on this team, how much we can trust them moving forward.
Well, I'm going to keep beating my head against the wall. I mean, I keep trotting Tom Brady out there in 2 leagues. I keep trotting Chris Godwin out there. I have Leonard Fournette. Like I keep thinking, but look, the good news is they're not going to face juggernauts like Carolina every week. So
yeah, juggernauts, absolute juggernauts.
Eventually, I'm sure the schedule will ease up. But no, I'm one of these. I'm in general the kind of person who kind of tries to like wait things out and think things will return to the norm. But we are 7 weeks in now, and it's getting harder and harder to believe that with Tampa Bay. But it's hard not to believe that they're better than 3 points against the Panthers. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I just could not believe that game went the way it did. So hopefully they turn things around just for fantasy football, because I do have Mike Evans and Leonard Fournette on a lot of rosters.